Do you want to visit Pearl Harbor for the first time, but are so overwhelmed by all of the information out there? I totally get it. There are so many articles online telling you which tour to take to make the most of your time that it gets so confusing. Forget all of those. I'm going to tell you exactly how to visit Pearl Harbor for the very first time, doing it on your own and at your own pace. What's up, everyone? I'm Rachelle, and welcome to Adventure is Never Far Away. It's possible to have a life full of adventures. Subscribe and come along as I show you that adventure is never far away. When you visit Pearl Harbor, you're visiting a memorial site. So it's important to keep this in mind as you wander around and visit the various exhibits and ships. There's also a dress code when visiting Pearl Harbor, so cover up that bathing suit and put shoes on. And while we're talking about clothing, let's discuss bags. Now, you cannot take a bag bigger than like a little clutch when you go visit the Pearl Harbor Memorial Site. You can take one of those like clear plastic bags that you can take to football games, but most of us don't carry those around. So my advice, leave the bag at home, leave the bag at your hotel, your accommodation. If there's nothing valuable in it, you can leave it in the car and just carry what you need. I wore this camera around my neck. I had my keys and my wallet in my pockets, and I carried my phone with me. If you can't do that, there is a bag drop site right next to the entrance to Pearl Harbor. You can drop off your bag, and I think for maybe around $10, maybe a little bit less, you can leave your bag in a secure location and then just not even worry about it, and then just pick it up on your way back. And lastly, just like anywhere else in Hawaii, wear sunscreen. Even if you're gonna be in and out of the shade, even if you're gonna be going into ships and going into exhibits, put on that sunscreen, protect your skin from that beautiful, strong Hawaiian sun. Now let's talk about how to plan for your first visit to Pearl Harbor. First things first, you need to understand the layout of the memorial. The complex features 2 exhibit galleries, outdoor exhibits, an audio tour, a theater, and a bookstore. Entering the memorial complex is completely free. You don't have to purchase anything. A lot of the exhibits are free as well, but if you want to go on any of the ships, you are going to have to buy tickets. Now, the USS Arizona Memorial has tickets that are available on a first-come, first-served basis at the information desk. However, if you're anything like me and you don't want to leave things to chance, you can purchase tickets ahead of time at recreation.gov, and tickets are only $1. If you have the time and the foresight to plan ahead, this is essential. Book your ticket and your time to the USS Arizona first. Now, if you want to visit any of the other ships, like the USS Bowfin, it's a submarine, or the USS Missouri, which is a huge battleship, you're going to have to purchase tickets on different websites. But you'll want to make sure that you purchase the tickets for the same day, around the same time. When you're booking your ticket for the USS Arizona Memorial, you get to pick a time slot. My recommendation is pick the first time slot available during the day, which is the 7:30 a.m. tour. When I went, there were less than 20 people on our tour. The next tour that went after us at 8:15 had almost triple the amount of people. Trust me, go early. Okay, now that you've got your trip planned, you've got your tickets purchased, it's time to actually show up at the Pearl Harbor National Memorial. You want to head straight to the USS Arizona Memorial first. Next big tip is just a reminder. You don't have to be a history buff or know anything really about World War II or Pearl Harbor to visit and to enjoy visiting Pearl Harbor Memorial. My next tip is to take advantage of the audio tour that's available when you visit the USS Arizona and the other exhibits. Or have Google ready. Whenever you're at a museum or at a memorial, it's always nice to understand what it is that you're looking at. That way you get more out of it and you understand more, and it means something. Although there's signs everywhere and little plaques explaining things, it helps to have a little bit more context. You don't necessarily have to have a degree in history like I do, or to be a history buff to understand and to get something out of your visit. But it helps to have a little bit of context. My next big tip is to pace yourself. Visiting a memorial site is emotionally draining, and so you want to make sure that you don't go so hard all the time that by the time you finish visiting all of these exhibits, you're completely exhausted. Pace yourself. Take a break from looking at everything and just enjoy where you are. Look out across the water to the Arizona Memorial. Look up at the palm trees. Read some of the plaques. Have a seat in the shade and watch the video that's playing over by the bookstore. Now, having said all that, it would be worth it to go check out other exhibits besides the USS Arizona Memorial. That is super important. It is a super moving memorial, but it's really cool to walk onto a battleship or to walk into a submarine. That's not something you get to do every day. And lastly, don't forget to enjoy your visit. Sometimes we get so caught up in planning and getting everybody there and getting everything together that we forget to actually enjoy what we're doing and enjoy where we are. Talk to the people that work on the battleship, that work at the information booth. Hear their stories. Find out why they enjoy what they do. Learn about the kamikaze. Learn about all the acts of heroism that ensued on the Arizona, on the Utah, on all of these battleships that were sunk during the attacks in 1941. I'll link my video down below describing my first trip to Pearl Harbor so you can see what it was like through my eyes. Well, I hope this helps you with your planning your trip to Pearl Harbor. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer them. Until then, see you on our next adventure.